Yo, 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 what's going on? Welcome to the Black Cat Panther podcast. This is our legend show where we're going to get together and sprinkle a little bit of memories from the past. Make no mistake about it, man. Your boy Dub Q is in the building. Y'all come on into the building. Let's get into it as we get into it. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm so excited. One, the new schedule has dropped out for the Carolina Panthers. And make no mistake about it, it looks like a favorable schedule. Everything looks to be in decency and in order. And I can't wait to really dive into it as we really dive into it, man. What's up, 704, man? What's going on? On this beautiful Mother's Day weekend, first of all, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. To each and every one of you fellas that have a mother somewhere, I want to tell y'all happy Mother's Day. That's for certain. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to break this thing on down. Before we get to the future, which is Bryce Young, Hayden Hurst, Miles Sanders, we're going to go back to the past and look at the best of the best in the all-time Carolina Panthers. Just a little something I want to talk about, man. I did it once before, but I'm going to do it again. Because I'm telling you right now, it's so vital to, one, have your team in place. As one, to know where you came from and know where you're going. So I love it, man. Let's get into it as we get into it. If you're just getting in here, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe. And while you're out there subscribing, you go out there and buy your mother some gifts. Go out there, get the very best bundle of roses that money can get. Go out there and get the very best cake that you can taste on for your mamas out here. Make sure you show them some love. So without further ado, let's get into it. Man, look at here. Let me make sure I'm straight. At quarterback, we start the chat and the debate off of, we got Bryce Young right now. I'm going to do it then and now. Right now, we got Bryce Young sitting at quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. And I love nothing more than the really harp on the quarterback position and see who we had throughout the years. That, from the Jake Delomes to the Chris Winkies to the Rodney Peets to the Jimmy Clausens to the Matt Moores. Oh, man, we done had some quarterback. Testaverde came out for a year. People don't remember back in the day. The Frank Wrights. We done had some of the most interesting quarterbacks to come through in the regime. And now we sitting at Bryce Young. Yes, I know I didn't mention Teddy Bridgewater. I didn't mention Sam Darnold for a reason. I didn't mention them both for a reason. But it's all cool, man, because, at the end of the day, you just want to make sure that you look at who is the greatest quarterback to ever do it in Carolina Panthers history. And that, to me, goes to none other than Mr. Sir Cam Newton himself. Now, it was a toss-up between him and Jake Delhomme, but I think what Cam done, winning an MVP, over 29,000 yards in the Carolina regime, over 4,000 yards rushing. I mean, multiple times, three-time Pro Bowler. Three-time Pro Bowler, I said. With an MVP in the 15-1 season makes him the best quarterback in Carolina Panthers history. Like I said, Jake Delhomme is the honorable mention right here. Talking about Verdi at least came out and won us that Cardinals game. Yes, sir, man. Hey, man, shout out to y'all. First and foremost, man. Lord Aiken, what's happening? Panther Germany, what's happening? Wiley, pull on up on your boy. I'm gonna put the link in the chat if you're free. Pull on up on your boy. I wouldn't mind having a second voice on this. So yeah, quarterback. The honorable mention to Jake Delhomme. I love Jake, Mr. Tommy Johns himself. We saw the good with Jake. We saw the bad with Jake. I think the worst we ever saw Jake on his birthday, he came out and threw all them damn interceptions on his birthday against the Cardinals. Hurt my feelings. One of the worst games we ever seen. Bryce Young being a leader of the pack. Yes, I'm hearing in rookie camp he is killing it. Exactly. So shout out to the GOAT for not seeing a goddamn thing that Bryce can do. Shout out to the GOAT. He ain't want to hear that. I'm going to get him when we get back on the show together. Yes, sir. Brother Wiley, what's happening?
Ain't nothing to it, bro. What's up?
Man, nothing to it, brother. Nothing to it. I'm telling you, man. How you feeling about right now? We just doing a little glance through the past.
Hey, I heard you talking about the best quarterback. I'm gonna go with Cam all day. I like Jake, but it wasn't even close, man. I remember when we first got Jake. Now Jake had some moxie to him, but yeah. But the best season I've seen other than Cam's season though was Berline. That 1 year Berline, yeah.
You like Berline? You like your boy?
Yeah, Berline had one good season to remember. Well, I'm trying to remember the name of that receiver got hurt. He tore his I think it was his Achilles. Because we got him mid-season. He scored like 7 touchdowns. That's how we made it to the playoffs. In the following year, he tore his ACL, and that was it.
Yeah. Oh, Steve Berline, man. I think when you look at, people don't even remember Steve Berline, bro. Like that, he was an OG back in the day.
Oh yeah.
3 had a strong arm, but it could throw the ball. You're right.
Yeah, Berline.
But I ain't go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say I wasn't gonna put him ahead of Jake though.
No. So Jake got he got blessed in the sense that Muhammad got paid because of Jake.
You're right.
People don't realize, and if we'd have Muhammad and Steve together, man, yeah, I think we'd have did some damage because that next year Steve was a beast. He won the triple crown the next year.
Oh yes, sir. Think about it, man. And I say this all the time. What if Steve Smith ever had an elite quarterback? What would he look like? That's why when they talk about some of the guys with some of the best numbers, he got 14,000 yards and in the top 5 of all-time yardage. And you got to realize that's hard to do with trash quarterbacks, bro.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't have he had Cam as what? Rookie, 2 years of Cam.
2 years of Cam. He made a Pro Bowl with Cam too.
Yeah, he had 2 years of Cam. And then he had, so remember now, so Jake along when he came, we got him from New Orleans. I think Jake was a third or fourth quarterback on their roster when we got him. Because he came from NFL Europe. Frankfurt Galaxy. People don't realize. That's 20 minutes for me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what they were showing the draft, and that city they were hosting the draft from. That's Frankfurt. That's where Jake played. He played with the Galaxy, and New Orleans put him out there so he can develop. And then we got him after I think he was on New Orleans maybe 4 or 5 years, and he played like 2 years in Germany. He looked good in Germany, but yeah, he can't. When we picked him up, nobody didn't think nothing of that.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. He did Galaxy. He did the Frankfurt Galaxy. Then he went as the New Orleans Saints. He walked on to the Saints. And then from there, we picked him up off of waivers, and we just didn't know what we had with this guy. So it was pretty incredible to see a guy that can come in, one click with Steve Smith because Steve Smith had the biggest chip on his shoulder after being relegated to special teams. Come
Oh
on,
yeah,
man.
oh yeah, and I still say that Super Bowl. People get mad at me. The Super Bowl, Fox got
Mm-hmm.
there. We got there in spite of Fox, not because of Fox. We
Ooh.
we got to the Super Bowl in spite of the coach, not because of the coach, and that is a hard thing for people to understand. Because remember Ricky Manning, the
Ricky
defensive
Manning
back?
Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. We shut down the Eagles. Our defensive back shut down the Eagles. That's how we got the Super Bowl. And that
Mm.
wasn't because of coaching. That was because those guys just played out of their mind. Because the coach was holding them out. Even got the Super Bowl. I think Jake threw like 2 passes in the first half.
Mm-hmm. The thing about
And
that team that year, 11-5.
mm,
John Fox had probably one of the most interesting teams in all of football because they were questioning him before if he could win.
mm,
And then I think we had what's that nigga with that funny name as our D coordinator? Trevok. Trevok was his name, I think, at the time.
okay. I'm trying to
Um,
remember who the D. Yeah. That's bad. Because I always thought Fox as being the D coordinator, but he wasn't. But you're right.
we had Mike Trevok. Trevok was his name, I think. Because I remember the funny name. I remember being young. Because 2003, I was 13 years old. Let that sink in a while. I was 13 at the time, and I would watch them boys on TV.
Yeah, well,
And
I was 2003, so what was that 20 years ago?
yeah,
30. I was 33.
33 Wiley. Wiley
Yeah, I
had
was
a
33.
full head of hair.
I used to. Yeah, man. It was but yeah, I remember watching that Super Bowl. I was mad as fuck. And this sounds like hate towards Peppers, but there's no hate. Peppers had never been able to stop the run. And they showed it in that game.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots exposed him, and he great at sacking the quarterback, but running his chest. Even when he came back with us, if you ever looked at those games, run directly at his chest. He couldn't stop the run, and
Mm-hmm.
his whole career. And if you think about it, when he played with uh I'm trying what team he played with. He played with Green Bay. He played with Chicago, and all those games. When those quarterbacks did those incredible plays, a lot of time was messed up. It was on Peppers. Peppers either got ran directly at, or they did a trick play, and then Peppers were out of position. And it's messed up to be, but it is what it is. Coaches look at your tendencies, and they take those tendencies and they exploit them.
So in the chat, I just put it to everybody who's watching. I just put it in the chat. Who is the greatest Panther of all time? And so
That's a good question.
who do
That's a
you
good question.
consider the greatest Panther of all time? We're gonna get into it today, Wiley. Because I've been hearing
See.
a lot of foolishness, Wiley.
Hey,
I've been
that's
hearing
a good
look,
question.
we had a debate one day over Julius Peppers and Luke Kuechly.
Yep.
And them boys couldn't pick or decipher who was better.
Yeah, I remember that because we had this part of that discussion. And
Mm-hmm.
who came in and said that? Was it Panther Pickle? Yeah, Panther Pickle was saying, I think he was saying that it was Peppers because Peppers was putting like a middle linebacker in. Now Peppers was gifted. Who's the greatest athlete probably ever had? It's between Peppers and Cam.
Think
From
about it, man.
from athlete perspective, those guys athletically were on another level.
Think
But
about it.
greatest Panther,
Mm-hmm.
the most impact league wide, to me, is Luke.
Luke.
Yeah, defensively, Luke.
Luke, I'm gonna give it to
He
you.
ain't flashy.
Luke had the most impact as far as when he was inserted, he took off. But you got to look at the way Luke playing. Luke is the quarterback of the defense, so his role is bigger than a Julius Peppers. Julius
Mm-hmm.
Peppers had one job. Let's get to the goddamn quarterback. And
Mm-hmm.
not only did he do that, he did it at a high level. I mean, if you look at Julius Peppers' numbers, let me pull up his numbers, man, because I saw it
Mm-hmm.
the other day.
He's top
Shoot.
3 or 4 all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. But watch this. Here's the bad part. I don't
Uh-oh.
remember one year. Maybe I'm wrong. I tried to look at it the other day when he was in his prime, where he was the number one defensive end in the game.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that, Wiley. Come on now.
So remember now, I'm the older guy. So I went back. I was like, okay. So I looked at Luke. I said, okay, these years, Luke was the number one middle linebacker, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Couple years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Defensive. Watch this. Defensive. Was it? He also was he defensive rookie of the year. I think the next year or that he won. He was a defensive player of the year. Not one time did Peppers win defensive player of the year.
You're right. You're right. But that's what I'm saying, though. The linebacker position is in more higher demand than the edge rusher position.
Mm, true, but what I'm trying to say is, whenever Peppers played, when you look at the defensive end that played when he wasn't number one, but Luke was.
Oh man, that hurt my soul.
It's the truth. I mean,
I'm gonna put something up on the
okay,
screen, Wiley.
hey, look at when he came out, right? Was rookie year
Mm-hmm.
was 2001, 2001,
2002.
2002. That year,
Mm-hmm.
played out his mind. 2002. Let me get my phone real quick.
Look at this. I got you. You ain't got to go to the phone.
All
I
right.
got you. So right here, you right when it comes to he never really led the league in sacks. Cause look at it. His highest career was 2008. We had 14 and a half sacks.
Mm-hmm. Who has
And
who
so,
has who had better numbers in a year than him? Kevin Green
yeah, yeah.
on the Panthers.
And I remember the other dude, Jared Allen, was in that era blocking him too for a
Yeah,
little while.
and when we had Jared Allen those couple years, Jared Allen had those same numbers Peppers did on the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, this ain't hate. This is the truth.
Yeah, yeah. The truth hurts.
Now,
The shit hurt.
gifted, there was no better athlete than him. He could cover tight ends. He can cover running backs. He can cover sometimes receivers. He yeah, he was freakishly athletic.
Yeah.
It just I never could understand why he could never stop the run running directly at him.
Oh man. Now that you say it, I'm looking at the numbers overall, and like I said, I had this full blown argument with somebody the other day for Luke Kuechly, and this is what the number one knock on Luke Kuechly. Julius Peppers had the like the LeBron role where he plays close to 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And MJ is like the Luke Kuechly where he get it done in 8 years. And you
Mm-hmm.
looking at it and you like, oh shit, for 8 years he had some of the all-time greatest numbers.
Mm-hmm.
In a 7 year span, he went 7 time All Pro.
Mm. And at that time frame, he was in a 7-time All Pro. I think 8 years, I think he was number one like 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
He was number
Only
one
other.
or number two, not number 5, not number 3, 1 or
Mm-hmm.
2.
Well, guess who his competition was?
The dude out there,
Patrick Willis.
yes, and that dude, he had a short run in San Francisco,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's when Bobby Wagner. It was Bobby Wagner and Patrick Willis. That was it.
Mm-hmm. Because
But
Patrick Willis, so when Luke Kuechly came in, that's why Luke Kuechly didn't get defensive player of the year that year because he got blocked out by Patrick Willis, but he won defensive rookie of the year that year.
mm-hmm.
So
And then it
I'm
was
looking
2 years
at
later. It was the following year he won defensive player of the year.
yeah, Patrick Willis ended up going down with some injuries, and we never know what happened to that. But then the NFC was wide open, and Luke Kuechly was the guy, the top
Mm-hmm.
linebacker for a decade.
That's true.
So let's get back to the list, man. We have to me, I mean to you, the greatest running back in Panthers history.
Oh, that's pretty
We got
good.
some ones now.
We have some good running backs. I'm gonna go with golly. I'm gonna go with Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, because Williams Stewart was outstanding, but I think
Mm-hmm.
we made a bad decision by keeping Stewart and getting rid of Williams. Uh, man, that's hurt. That hurt because those guys together they're a dynamic duo. But we overpaid for Williams, so we couldn't keep him and Stewart together. Because if we go back, trying to think the running backs, because we never had them like more than 4 or 5 years. Uh, we had Stewart the longest. That's why he has the top rushing. I think he was number one, right? And rushing.
Yeah. Yeah. Can
Yeah,
y'all
he
can y'all
played the longest.
understand me clearly?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes
Lord, they
you
can
would
say
go
my
in a
mic
little
was
out a
chopping
little
up.
bit.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah. What's up with you, fella? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. I just hear y'all talking about the legends, man.
Come on, let's
I
get it.
I tell you, my legend, man, Steve Smith,
Oh
'89.
yeah. Oh, that dude
Yes,
is.
sir.
Oh
That's
That's a
my
god
favorite.
over here.
That's my
yeah,
favorite. That's my favorite. One of my favorite players of all time. Period. I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
was in middle school, 2001. I was like 10 when he got drafted,
Oh,
and I remember just that 2003 season.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember Jake Delhomme first game against
Yes,
the
The
sir.
Jaguars? The Jaguars week one,
yeah Jaguars. Yeah.
2003. We
Go
was
ahead.
getting beat. We was getting beat pretty bad at halftime. And what was our quarterback? Not Garrard.
Rodney Pete.
Rodney Pete.
Rodney
Rodney
Pete.
Yeah.
Pete was
Mm-hmm.
started, and they pulled Rodney Pete out the game and put Jake Delhomme in. And Jake Delhomme brought us back, and we won the game. And then we came back that next week against who, like Tampa or somebody. And Tampa had just won the Super Bowl.
hmm
You know. But Steve though, man, Steve was like,
Monster.
see, I played football from when I was like probably like 7 all the way up through high school, ran track, you know. Steve was like my the guy that I modeled my game after. I didn't play wide receiver. I was a linebacker for a long time, and then when I got to high school, I was a safety, cornerback, kick returner, punt returner. And
Damn.
Steve attitude, I was fast. I ran like a 4.42 in ninth grade. But
Mm-hmm.
Steve was like he was so tenacious. When you
hmm
talk about dog on the football field, when you say somebody a dog, you talking about Steve Smith.
I felt
Mm-hmm.
Steve
man.
Smith, you remember he used to catch those little wide receiver screens and then run up the sidelines and stiff arming everybody and running people
Yep.
over all the way.
Yes,
They used
sir.
that was like a big part of our offense, a wide receiver screen to the sideline to Steve Smith. And he used to
Take it
always
to
get
the.
a first down.
Oh
It
yeah.
was just the energy, bro. Like when he get out there, he catch,
Yeah.
make that pass, and he spin that ball on the ground the first time, slap that
Yeah,
helmet.
spinning that
It's
ball.
going down.
Once he spin that ball and start smacking his helmet, it's over.
Yeah.
You
It's
know what
Let's
I'm saying?
over.
go. Let's
And who
go.
was that? Who was that Vikings cornerback who career he ended?
Janoris Jenkins. Janoris
Jen-
Jenkins.
You sure it
Oh,
was
that dude
Jenkins?
running his
You
mouth.
sure it was Jenkins?
I think it was Janoris Jenkins, wasn't it? Because he thought he said, because Steve Smith was like, he think he Dion, and I'm gonna show him he ain't Dion.
Yeah, it might
Yeah.
have been. It might have been him.
Yeah. It
Steve
sounded like that.
embarrassed
Sounded like
him.
the right guy.
Punish his
Steve
ass.
Smith. Steve Smith is when I was a little kid before I discovered Steve Smith, and before I became a Panther fan when I was about 11. I had players. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a team. I like Eddie George. I liked Steve McNair. I like McNabb. I liked
Mm-hmm.
Dion was my favorite player ever. You know, I had
hmm
his Florida State football card. You know, I kept it in my pocket. Brett Favre was my dude. John Elway was my dude. You know,
I
but
see the
once
type.
yeah, but once I seen that 2003 season. No, the 2002 and 3 season. The
Mm.
year before 2003 when we went to the Super Bowl, the year before we went to the Super Bowl, I think we was like what 7-9 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the year before that, we was like 2-14 or something like that. So we
Horrible.
went from
One and 14.
1-15.
1 and 15.
1-15. We went from 1-15 to 7-9
Mm-hmm.
to the Super Bowl 10-6 season.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first season the next year, the first game of the season after the Super Bowl, Steve Smith got injured. That next year, where did we go? We lost to the Seahawks in the NFC Championship. So
Mm-hmm.
people
Mm-hmm.
talk about the Panthers like we don't have no history.
Come
We
on.
have a history. We have a history. We only been around. They younger than I am. You know what I'm saying? I was 4 when the Panthers when they started talking about the Panthers, 3, 4 years old. So for I can't think of of an expansion team that has captured and performed in the short amount of time. There's no comparison. All right, we can say the
Mm-hmm.
Jaguars, we can say the Falcons, but they was an expansion team. When the
Nah,
Saints an
but
expansion,
yeah, but those guys, if you look at it, the only ones that really have an opportunity to say anything is Jacksonville because 96, like it was both our second year.
yeah.
96, we both were in the championship game. Uh,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
yeah,
I know
Jacksonville
that
was
history.
there with
Yeah,
Brunel and those guys playing against Denver, and we were against Green Bay.
Dallas.
No, Green Bay. We
It was
made it.
Green Bay.
We
Oh, we
crushed
beat
Dallas.
Dallas. We
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
Dallas. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were beat. We were up on Green Bay, and then
Hmm.
there was a pass to the sideline. I think his name was Freeman. I think the receiver was that broke our back. It was an
Yeah.
outstanding catch. I mean, it was an incredible catch that broke our back. But we were dominating Brett Favre those guys. I'm
Let
just
me
saying.
let me let me ask y'all. Let me ask y'all if y'all remember this player name. I hear people talking about the 03 10. They like talking about Branson Butler, the front seven we had. But do y'all remember Mike Minner back there?
Oh, Mike
Oh
Miller,
yes, sir.
woo, baby.
Yes, sir.
Mike Miller was a monster.
Mike Minner was nasty.
Number
Mike
30
Minner is
was a
going.
beast.
He gonna knock you upside your head. He's going to hit you.
Let me
He's
tell you
going to
something,
hit
brother.
you. Yeah.
Deion Grant, Mike Miller, Reggie
Deion
Howard,
Grant.
Terry
Yeah.
Cousins.
Woo.
We
Yeah.
had a defense. Will
Yeah. We had a
Witherspoon.
squad.
We
Yeah.
had Mike Rucker, who was
Yeah.
over there giving Julius Peppers a run for his money with the
Yeah.
sacks, bro.
Yeah.
Brinson Buckner,
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Jenkins.
We
We
was
had a
nasty,
line,
man.
bro. We
Don't
had a
forget Dan
line.
Morgan. Remember
Oh,
Dan Morgan running
that.
with reckless abandon?
Ooh,
Dan
baby.
Morgan
Yeah.
didn't care. Dan Morgan gonna come hit you. He gonna come straight
Favors was
down the
good too.
line. Davis, yeah. We had a
Greg
squad. We had a
Favors, he was
squad.
good too.
Oh, you said favors. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
Favors. He was
yeah.
good too now.
But I
I'm,
think that's why I think that's one of the reasons why our coaching. I'm gonna put coaching into this. We got our first quarterback we drafted, and we got Dom Capers back. You know what I'm saying? We switching back to the 3-4. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Woo.
I
yeah,
think
bro.
we trying to. I think what we doing right now is we trying to get that defense back to being that defense, but we gonna do a little different with an offensive coordinator as a head coach. We always had a defense coordinator head coach. Now we got Frank Wright. We got a new scheme coming in here with Thomas Brown. We got Deuce Staley with Miles Sanders again. See, we getting caught up in a lot of riffraff right now. I think what we have to realize is right now we the envy of the league. We've been the envy of the league since we traded up from 9-1. We've been the envy of the league because we're not a 3 and 14 number 1 pick. We not picking after we competed all the way to the end of the season last year. We're not a garbage number 1 pick. Our pick is coming into a more solid team than anybody for you can go all the way back down to pick 8 after us. But we have to understand that we are ahead as far as the familiarity on the team. We have our veteran. We have our veterans. We brought in some free agency, some free agent targets. But what we have to realize is we are going back to our roots, but the difference is our offense is going to be more substantial
No,
Hmm.
watch
than it
this.
has been in a very long time.
We only had two, I believe, I would say 5 years of outstanding offense, right? When
Yeah,
we had Safers, right, from San
yeah,
Francisco.
yeah.
So that was
George
that
C.
year that was that year we had Burline when Burline went off that year.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah,
our offense, I think, was like top five, top six. And
yeah,
people don't realize because back then it was no NFC South. We were playing in the West, and
yeah.
we
It
were
was in the West.
giving
Yeah.
the business to San Francisco. We were
Mm-hmm.
giving it, and that was San Francisco was good.
Yeah,
We were giving
yeah,
the business to all the top NFC teams. But it's just like Safer only had a couple years, and then he got that 1-15, and that was it, because
yeah,
that receiver got hurt, and that was it. That was over for Safer. But
yeah,
Hmm.
that's when we got Fox, and then Fox from that point on, Fox to Rivera, we had these guys that are too cautious.
yeah,
Oh man!
yeah,
But
yeah,
we had that 1-15 team. We had a couple years with Safer, and then we had I think it was like 96 team. It was up and
Yeah.
down. It was up and down, but that
Hmm.
was it. Offensively, we really haven't had a constant offense that could quarterback top 15 and a running back top 10. We haven't had that consistently. So if we could do
I
that, I
think
think we
I
can
think
win.
I think that's what we headed to. I think that's what
Yeah,
we headed
Mm.
to. I
yeah,
think that's what we headed to. We gonna have our defense, but we gonna have an offense that's prepared to bust you in the mouth. Even if Shark gone next year, he ain't he only got a 1 year deal.
mm,
I think
Yeah.
Shark gonna show. I think he gonna show out this year. All right. I think he gonna be a decent number two, three. I don't think he gonna be our number one wide receiver, but I
no,
think he's gonna. I think he's gonna perform enough to warrant a contract with another team. He gonna leave us. But I think Mingo and Bryce together, maturing in the league. I think that's gonna be something that's gonna replace in the future what we will have with Sharp and what we have had with DJ Moore.
yeah. I think
Mm.
that type of receiver, like Sharp running down the field and
Hmm.
busting over the top, those things are great. But I think it's more going to the Debo Samuels kind of deal.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
we got. I think Chenault is going to
Chanel.
be a breakout player because
Oh yeah.
those drag
Sure
routes
who?
across the Chenault, those drag
Labisco,
routes,
man.
because he gonna hit you with the drag route. Because you don't have to be. You don't have most of these offenses. See, there he go. Most of these offenses. He's the man. There you go. See, you saw that. You saw that hate. He turned. He's
Yeah,
like
it creeped
that.
Sure
out. It
who?
snuck out. Oh, Lavisca, man.
Yeah, Lavisca. Reason why I
I
said
like I
because
like Lavisca.
yeah,
The
he don't
man
have
that
to
runs
have
no
great.
routes.
Yeah, but he don't have to have great routes. Only thing they got to do is design it so he's going against the middle linebacker, and then they can take it, run him across the middle, run almost
Yeah.
a pick route. Then he get in the flat with a middle linebacker or a weak side linebacker. I think he can take the ball 10, 15 yards, and then that'll be a constant thing. What we need because then you can have Mingo going across the deep corner, and then next you
Yeah.
know, you got a choice. And then
Yeah.
DJ going down the middle, you have a choice.
And you got Hurts. You got Hurts in there too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
Man,
got a choice now. You got a choice of
it's I
what you
think
gonna
it, I
do.
think it could get ugly next year if we protect our quarterback the way that we need to.
Hmm.
I think we're gonna be a problem.
Yeah, and like I said, we don't have to. I said if we are top 12 offense and we have a top 5 defense, we
Yeah,
can win. We
yeah,
don't have to be number one. We
yeah.
can
We don't
win.
gotta be. Yeah, yeah. I think we putting the
I
right
agree.
pieces in place. Yeah, I think we putting the right pieces in place. But I think we as a fan base should be a lot more excited and optimistic about what we have um as a team right now.
Yeah, I agree because I don't know how. I don't know. I just we're so jaded and I don't get it because I think because I perspective right. I've been a fan since we started, and I also was a Pittsburgh fan. I remember looking at Pittsburgh when I was young.
Hmm.
Pittsburgh heyday when I was young was '70s, right?
Hmm.
And people don't realize before the '70s, Pittsburgh sucked. Before the '70s, Dallas sucked. These teams
Yep.
that we say are great, these guys suck. I mean, they had
Yep.
like 10 to 15 years of 2-5 and 3 in this. Not
Hmm.
not 1 year of good play. No. 10, 15 years of 3-5. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or three or
Yeah.
whatever it is. They didn't win no
Hmm.
games. So if these guys can have fans from that time period, we got to look at where we've gotten to in the short period of time that we've been. And I want to win a Super Bowl now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We compare well for the first 30 some odd years, well, 28 years of any franchise.
we got the best record of all those franchises in the first
Yeah, and then,
30
yeah,
years. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Mm.
we're way
definitely.
ahead of them. But that's
Yeah,
perspective because we keep looking at them now. But dude,
yeah.
they got a 30, sometimes 40-year run on us.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We little bro in the NFL, but we punching above our weight class, and we been since we came in the league.
I
We
think
just
it's
we
Who?
just
funny is yeah, Jacksonville and us are coming back around again. Think about that.
it'd be
We
funny
came
if both of us
together.
be in the Super Bowl. It'd be
Yeah.
funny if we face in the Super Bowl. The
Go
Boy,
after
that'd
95,
be
James
a
Brown
hell
again.
of a
Yep.
Super Bowl too.
95 Twins Super Bowl will be, and let it be in Charlotte after we renovate.
Woo, baby.
Yeah, that'll be
I
crazy.
wouldn't know how to act, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, I
I
lose
would.
my
I
brain.
show my ass.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'll be wilding out. Yep, yep. But I
Yes, sir.
think, I think, I ain't gonna stick on here too long, man. I just wanted to add my little 2 cents, man, and I wanted to
Good.
add a little optimism to the mix because yeah, Anthony Richardson looked good in the pocket. He got a strong arm. He fast. Bryce Young. He's a good quarterback. Some people like Levitt. Some people want Hooker, but we got Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
This our dude right here. This just like when we got Cam. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
it,
People wanted Blaine Gabbert. You know what
yep.
I'm saying? People wanted Went
Mm-hmm.
Dalton coming out that year. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but we took Cam and we rolled with Cam. They ran him into the dirt.
Mm.
They
Never
ran
gave him
Cam into
support.
the dirt.
Yeah.
Never gave him support, and they ran him too much, man. They ran him too much. Those records that he got rushing the football is because they overutilized his physicality. They should have been trying to preserve Cam past his third season,
But
Yeah, but
see,
second,
some of
third
that
when you
season.
gotta,
some of that goes on Cam though, because remember they kept telling him trying to teach him how to slide.
Yeah,
And
he didn't want to slide
yeah, he didn't want to slide, but
like
that's
that
one of
time.
those. Mm-hmm.
That time in
but that's
Atlanta when he
also
ran through the whole defense on
that's
just that
also when
first
you got
down.
a defensive minded coach too. Because think about it, Ron Rivera, defensive minded coach.
Very
What did
much
he
so.
do? He went and got Shazinski, and Chud was a pretty goddamn good coordinator.
Man, if we would
But
have
at the
kept
end of the
Chud,
day,
man,
we didn't keep him. We didn't
yeah,
keep him.
if we would have kept Chud,
And,
it would be ridiculous.
yeah, and when Chud got fired by the Browns, instead of bringing Chud back, because that was Cam's best seasons, right? With Chud,
Yeah,
no,
Hmm.
yeah.
he was too proud and he wanted to run ball control. No, man.
Yeah, we need to open this offense up, and,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
then and then you can even think about McDermott. We let McDermott go, but I think McDermott was gonna slide anyway because when his daddy or something like the Philadelphia Eagles defense coordinator for like 40 years or something like that.
Talking about Doug
Tom
McDermott,
McDermott,
boy.
one his daddy like the
Mm-hmm.
Eagles defense coordinator, something like that.
Yeah, you're right. He came from the Eagles to us.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
does have an Eagles
Mm-hmm.
background, but you know
yeah.
what though? We have had a lot of good coaches come through
Oh
our
yeah,
ranks, but
yeah. Players too. It seemed
yeah,
like the training ground. It seemed like the training ground. Send them to Carolina for about 2 years, and then you know what I'm saying, bring them up here, bring them to the big market.
we've been but think about it like this. Look at all our former players on those other teams.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of fun, and they have
yeah,
long careers too. I mean, the
yeah.
guys that we thought were middle of the road, how are they still in the league?
Look at Demir
Mm-hmm.
Bird. People remember Demir Bird last year in the first Falcons game.
Mm.
Remember he was making them sneaky little catches to keep the drive going at the end of the game.
Yep.
He was
With
killing us at the end of the
Mariota,
game.
with
Killing us at
Mariota
the end
as
of the game.
quarterback.
Yes, yes. And I was like, I would every game I would be watching with she was my new girlfriend at the time. Pointing out like, oh, that's an old player, that's an old player, that's an old player, that's an old player, that's an old player. She's like, dang, y'all had the whole league, ain't it? Yeah, we kind of did. Buffalo, we played the old Panthers when we played Buffalo. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Carolina
We
North.
all over the league, man. We all over the league. Now we're in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we had that connection with San Diego. We like the plug for the league, man. But I really think with this new, if we can keep our stars in house, our stars always slide out the back door. If we can keep our stars and our players in house, I think the culture would shift to being a more like Steelers keep Troy Polamalu. They keep, what I'm saying, Ben Roethlisberger. They keep their staples
Hmm.
of their franchise. We let our staples go. We let Cam go. Matt Rule let the whole Super Bowl team go.
Yeah, that was a.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to talk about that guy.
He
I don't
let
know
the
how.
whole Super Bowl team. How can you be so stupid to release the entire 15-1, 16 or 18-2? How can you do that? And then bring in people on the cheap. Like I don't, we bouncing back from that. But I ain't gonna stay on the phone, man. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to wish y'all a good day, man. It's good chopping it up with y'all every now and then, man. And appreciate the content. Keep
Yes,
pounding
sir.
and make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button.
And that super chat. Yes, sir.
All that, all that. That's gonna be tapped soon, fellas. But I'll see y'all
All right,
Already.
man.
later on.
Out.
Hey, I'm
Hey,
telling you, Wiley.
see, you got them all hyped up, baby. Got them all hyped up.
Look, man, I told you a blast from the past is going to really get you ready for the future. I told you. Now, we got started listening to some stuff about where we really saw everybody listed, and I think that you got to running back, didn't you?
Yeah, we were on running back, and I was saying Williams, but you know it's kind of hard because, like I said, Jonathan Stewart got the rushing records,
Mm-hmm.
and then I like McCaffrey, but McCaffrey just didn't have enough healthy years.
Yeah, he didn't
He
have
looked great
longevity.
though. He looked
Mm-hmm.
great though, but he just didn't have the help. He didn't have the production that you think he should have. That thousand season was, yeah, that was,
Historic. Yeah,
yeah. Well, and
I
if you
don't
think
think.
about it, we've had
Mm-hmm.
those years with like Triple Crown with Steve. Steve's Triple Crown, boy. So you say you could
Mm-hmm.
name some Panthers that those years when they dominated, they set the league on fire. The problem is we have them too inconsistent. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to be able to string them back together. So you said you like Williams, but Stewart holds all the records, and that's why I was going to go with this. D'Angelo Williams is my favorite. It's hard to pick between Smash and Dash. The
Exactly.
all-time greatest Panther running back to me is still going to be Jonathan Stewart because he had over 7,000 yards. He's the all-time leading rusher for the Panthers. He only made a Pro Bowl appearance, but you got to understand what his value meant to the team, man. This guy was look. His value was he was so vital in us in our Super Bowl run in 2015. Him and Tobit together were an unstoppable 1-2 punch. I mean, with Cam together, we had three running backs at our disposal at any time.
Yeah, but think about it like this: if we'd have had Tolbert with Williams, that'd have been a little more. You know what I'm saying? We had to
Mm-hmm.
trade power with those three, but if we'd have had Williams there with Tolbert, man, we'd
Speed.
have had, yeah, we'd have, oh baby. 'Cause remember that those couple years he was with Pittsburgh, he looked great.
Yeah, yeah, he looked real good up there. I think he got 1,000 yards back to back up there.
I'm saying, man.
So D'Angelo Williams to me is no slouch at running back, man. Make no mistake about it. That guy is a dog, and I'll take him on my team any day of the week. And then with that being said, I gotta pick Stewart over Williams though, just because of we had a lot more time with Stewart, and he had more time to do more because he had
That makes
51
sense.
touchdowns. Yeah, he had more longevity,
hmm I, I
man.
I I can't fight that. There's no there's no debate there. That's why I was saying. I said, I just like the way Williams looked during the when he
Mm-hmm.
was playing with us. I like the
Mm-hmm.
style that he played with. Stewart problem for me was Stewart kept getting injured too much.
Well, and that's as he was starting to get older, and that's when he retired. I didn't even know the nigga retired. Tell you the truth.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like he just didn't show up one day, and I was like, "What the hell? What happened?"
what he played like 8 years, 10 years.
He did from 2008 to 2017. Like I didn't even know he left in 2017, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah. So what 9 years? No, that was 10 years.
Yeah, he did a little grip, man. So shout out to Stewart, man, for being the all-time leading rusher. Now we'll move on to fullback. I think it's between Brad Hoover and Mike Tolbert right here. And it's dependent on how you're looking at it. I think the most success at fullback has been Tolbert. He had, three-time Pro Bowler as a fullback. So I don't think it get any better than that.
Yeah, but I like Hoover. Remember when? Yeah, if you go back, you play Madden.
Yeah.
Hoover, man. Hoover, he was always open. He was always open.
You remember when he would make a play and get like a third and short, everybody would holler, Hoover.
Exactly.
He was a
That's what I'm
fan
saying.
favorite, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So,
shout out to him. Now we get to the diva position, bruh. This is where the kick is. The top two receivers to me is always going to be Musa Muhammad and Steve Smith, the
mm-hmm.
all-time leading. Musa Muhammad had 9,000 yards, 67 touchdowns in his career, and I think Steve Smith with the Panthers only had 12,000 yards and 67 touchdowns. Five-time Pro Bowler though, he still made his time. Musa was a two-time Pro Bowler, so
Mm-hmm.
you know I don't think it get any better than that at receiver for us, man. You got anybody else?
No, because the other guys, the problem is they go like 1 or 2 years. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't have that consistent receiver. Because
Mm-hmm.
our offense always would be the next position, tight end centric.
Mm. Yeah.
So who
Yeah.
you got at tight end? Let's see. Let's see how good are your memory
O-
here, or how
Okay.
biased.
Okay, for tight end position, we've had some guys that you could put in there that you could say was pretty good. We have, Man Hurts. We done had some other guys, Greg Olson, Wesley Walls. Wesley Walls was our guy for over I think 11 years or so,
Hmm.
where he stayed
Yeah.
with the Panthers, and he made five. He was a five-time Pro Bowler, bro. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
off the rip, he was that dude. But
Yes.
Greg Olson eclipsed him to me when he started getting consistent back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons.
Okay.
I don't
All
think
right.
Wesley
I can.
Walls ever did that.
No, but Wesley, what Wesley didn't have, what that Greg had was Wesley never had a quarterback as good as Cam.
Yeah.
That. So Wesley, Wesley Walls, man, when he came from San Fran to us,
Hmm.
man, it's like that dude didn't play like that in San Fran. He was a beast with us. That kept us consistent for a long time. And I think West was probably what top three, maybe four tight end when he was playing at his time frame.
Hmm.
So
I give you that.
I would go. I'm going with Wesley Walls myself. That's why he's in the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
The thousand season, two of those back to back. That shows that we were too dependent on him too.
Hmm. Oh,
Up
and
the
just to
seam, you
forget,
couldn't
just so I don't
stop Greg.
forget,
You couldn't stop Greg.
you couldn't stop him, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But we had an honorable mention back in the wide
Mm-mm,
receiver room that I
mm-mm.
forgot to mention. Ricky Prohl.
Oh,
I forgot to mention
yeah. So
Ricky
that
Prohl,
that
bro.
set Steve. That's what Steve learned a lot of technical route running from. Was Ricky.
Hmm.
Ricky taught him how to really zero in, be professional. Because Steve was a beast when we first had
Yeah.
him, but when we got Parole in there, it's like Steve went to another level.
Hmm. And took that time with him and really got him right. And so Steve accredits a lot of his going forwardness from Ricky Prohl a lot too. He said, him and Ricky Prohl had a real tight relationship.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
here's the cheese and the melons, the offensive line. Now, at left tackle, I
oh,
don't think there's no doubt about it.
here we go,
Jordan
here we
Gross
go.
is the best left tackle we ever had. Shout out to Ike
Yes,
Aquanu.
yes,
I don't think it's nobody that could
yes.
come even close because we had Michael Orr, we had some other guys, but Gross was that dude, man. Three-time Pro Bowl over there. Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody in the chat. They
Yeah,
think
well,
so too.
Gross,
Gross. Go ahead, Wally.
yeah, Gross was hands down. That's why we took so long to replace him. He was hands down one of the top left tackles in the game, not in our conference, in the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For years. All right. Now we got the guard position, and I'm just doing a guard position because we didn't solidify multiple guard positions because you could say that what's the guy that was here? Norwell. You can say Norwell was one of the best left guards, but I like to think it's between Travell Wharton and then Trey Turner. So the way how I look at it at the guard position, I'm just going to put the best guards we had. I'm not going to even label a left guard or a right guard. Between Trey Turner, Travell Wharton, and then Norwell that we let get away and went to Jacksonville. Who you think it is? I think Turner is a 5-time Pro Bowler too.
I'm gonna go with no. Turner was good, but Turner just didn't. He didn't dominate.
He didn't
You know what I
dominate.
mean? No, he was good, but what I'm saying is, when I look at dominate, I'm not just talking about dominating on a team. I'm talking about league wide.
Mm. I think we lost Wiley for a second.
This audio. Yeah, I'm glad to switch between the phone and you got me now.
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's yeah. Okay, we go. Remember, you got two different guards. There, you got left guard, right guard. You just put them together. You said guard in general. Then yeah, I would go with Noah. Because Noah, you can run behind that dude. He was like a wall.
And Noah was undrafted, and he ended up being one of the guys that we end up finding a gym in. And then when it got time to pay the cat, we couldn't afford to pay him. Well, I don't think we couldn't afford him. I think we just didn't want to pay him.
We made a business decision. It was the wrong business decision.
Yeah, wasn't Gettleman our guy during then, or was it Herney? I think we had Gettleman now. I'm not too sure on that one.
I think it was Herney.
Oh, it was Herney?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. And right now at the center position for the Carolina Panthers, all-time leading. Yeah, that's right. Shout out to the chat, man. We had that. But Ryan Khalil, or who was the other guy we had from the Broncos? What was his name again?
The guy we just let go.
The one we just let go like a year or two ago.
Are you for real? You gonna bring that guy?
Come on, Wiley.
Come on, man. The only one really center we've had is Ryan.
Ryan Khalil, 5-time Pro Bowler.
We've had centers in the last 3 or 4 years, but nobody really did what Ryan did. It's not even close, man.
Wow. So this is the tricky one. We never really had a solidified right tackle. We drafted a couple of guys. We got Big Jeff Otah in 2009. He played like a couple of games that panned out. We had Darrell Williams for 4 years from 15 to 19. He was versatile, but he never panned out. And then you got Taylor Moton. We had Byron Bell for a little while on the right side, then we moved him to the left. But we got Taylor Moton sitting there. Is Taylor Moton our best right tackle of all time?
I don't know, because I really didn't look at right tackle like that. I'm going to have to do some research on this, because I don't believe we had a dominant right tackle that I can remember. But maybe that's also a good thing. If you don't remember sometime offensive linemen and things just happen and there's not a whole bunch of problems, that's good. You don't normally talk about offensive linemen unless they dominate.
I think Otah was the biggest letdown to me, because when he was on the field, that boy used to open up holes. When I tell you Big Jeff Otah, I think that's why our running game was so strong in 2009, because Stewart and him came in the rookie class together, and we got both of them boys out of the first round. We got Stewart at the end of the first round, and we got Otah in the middle of the first round. And I think that's the last time we had 2 first-round picks. And those guys really came in. Yeah, they balled out, bro.
Yeah. Well, Stewart was Otar. I'm trying to remember.
Otar was 2009. We got him. Jeff Otar was, I think it was like in the teens. It was like 15 or 14, and then we came back at the end of the first round because I think we traded up to get Stewart in the at number 32 or so. We got Stewart. Let me see, Jeff Otar. He didn't pan out. He didn't play long. I think Jeff Otar may have did a year or two.
Okay.
2008 to 2011, he was first round pick number 19. We got him in the 2008 draft for 2009. Yep. And he didn't last long at all either. He kept having knee injury after knee injury, and that would cause him to go. But we spent a first round pick on that guy, and he ended up busting out.
Well, so I wonder when we're gonna get 2 first round picks again.
Damn. We got him at 19, and then we had Stewart at 13. I thought we got Stewart at the back of the first round. We got Stewart at number 13. So in 2008, we had 2 first round picks, number 13 and number 19. That's crazy.
Well, and we wasted the offensive line.
Wasted that. Because that's why I say between him and Vernon Butler are the 2 biggest busts to me of all time. Jeff Otar at right tackle and Vernon Butler on the defensive line.
You're right.
Maybe Kelvin Benjamin.
First round draft picks and second round draft picks, usually they're good. First round for sure. But we never been able to draft outside of the third round and all that. We don't have no history of getting good players deep in the draft.
You're right, Atlanta boy. But when he was in our run game was dominant. You're right. That boy could have run block. He couldn't do shit else. He could run block now. I watch him. It was like a refrigerator with legs just run you over. And I'm like, oh my God. Stewart and D'Angelo Williams had that's that magical season where we had those 2 boys running for 1,100 plus yards. That's when we had Big Jeff Otar, and they would get right behind him. He would open up them holes. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, we were dominant. Our run game was dominant.
Yeah. So now we move to the defensive side of the football. At the defensive end position. Oh yeah. The bread and butter, Wiley. The bread and butter. Defensive end. Julius Pepper. I think Julius Pepper's on the left end is going to solidify that. And on the right end, I'm going to get at the Charles Johnson.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What about Mike?
Mike Rucker?
Yeah.
Oh, that's that. Mike Rucker was a dog now. Mike Rucker was a dog.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, man.
Pebbles had it down, got his side. But Mike, I think I like Johnson, but Johnson was always, to me, he was undersized. You know what I mean? He was one of those guys where he did good, but he wasn't dominant. He was good though.
Yeah.
I'll take Rucker all day long. Rucker was punishing folks.
Oh, there go the Saints fans coming out of the mix. Who that dude and me? Lord have mercy.
So what you think? If you want to pick the best year that you've seen Charles Johnson have and Rucker, who you think had the better year?
Now I think about it, Mike Rucker is probably the dog, probably because he had double-digit sacks for years. He was holding it down. He was the OG for Peppers.
But let's go. Let's be real about it though. Those guys were homegrown players. But we want to go. Who had the better year at that position was Kevin Grant. But whenever we run the 3-4 though, that's not a 4-3. The defensive end at 3-4, outside linebacker at that time. Come on, man. We got to go back to the '96 team. '96, Kevin Green and all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kevin
then,
Green made the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Shout out to him. 2-time Pro Bowler with the Panthers and 5 times over his career. And '96, he led the league in sacks, bro. I mean,
yeah,
I can't say nothing bad about Kevin Green.
no,
He's fifth in our franchise history with 41 sacks right now. And guess who they're behind? I mean, you gotta think about it. Julius Peppers, Charles Johnson, Mario Anderson, and Mike Rucker. And
yeah.
number 5 is Kevin Green.
How many years Kevin Green played with us?
He only played, what, 3 years?
No, he played.
96, 98, and 99.
Mm,
Because 1 year, I don't think he would play because he was injured.
no, he went to San Fran.
He
So
went to
that's
San Fran in 97.
yeah, he was with us. Then he went to San Fran, and when he went from us to San Fran, he came right back to us.
98, 99. Yep.
That money. But hey, Kevin Green was dominant with us. And then who was it? I think it was we're gonna get to it anyway. Linebackers, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So
Defensive.
I go Kevin Green. Yeah,
You say what?
I go Kevin Green. But we're talking two different. We're going outside linebacker versus defensive end. Okay.
Okay. But in order to do that, that means so Julius Peppers and Kevin Green is your 2 ends.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect that. Shout out to Charles Johnson though. He was still a dog with us, man.
Oh yeah.
I think because he got 67.5 sacks, and he's, like I said, second time all time for the Panthers. And Julius Peppers is number 1. And that cat he broke the league record with the Carolina Panthers. I mean, he had 100. Let me just go over Julius Peppers' numbers, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
With the Panthers, this is just with the Panthers. I'm not going through his overall numbers. He is a 5-time Pro Bowler with the Panthers, 9-time Pro Bowler overall. 9 times.
Oh, yeah.
He was a 4-time All-Pro, 6 times overall. He's a member of the All-Decades 2000s, 2010 teams as well. That's 2 decades.
Oh, yeah.
The all-time leading sack leader with 97 with the Panthers. But in NFL history, he has 159 sacks, 0.7. 0.5. He got an extra a half of a sack too. So he got almost 160 sacks totally.
Oh, he's no punk now.
Yeah. He is the Panthers' all-time leader in tackles for loss with 107, as well as forced fumbles, 34 forced fumbles. And he had the 3rd most quarterback hits with 89 quarterback hits, bro.
Monster
shit, bro. He's the GOAT.
Monster. I ain't gonna sit here and lie about it. That dude was a monster.
Pepper should be in the Hall of Fame twice.
That's just hate. Anybody says otherwise, that's hate. That's not realistic.
Wiley, this man should be in the Hall of Fame twice. He should be in there for the Panthers and what he did with Chicago and Green Bay put together.
Yeah.
That's just crazy how durable this cat was throughout his career.
Yeah, that was a bad thing we let him go. That was Yeah, he could yeah. Think about it like this. Think about it if we'd have had him on that 2015 team.
Well,
come on now.
And now is the time we've been waiting for to get to the best part. We couldn't wait to get to. You know what I'm saying? My man said Greg Hardy. We ain't gonna show Greg Hardy no love. Yeah, Greg Hardy was a beast, but he was more like a 1-year wonder.
Yeah, well, he had about 4 years with us.
4 years. It took him 3 years to really get to that level, and then that 1 year he broke out, and then after that
he got in trouble.
He left. He got in trouble. And so he went to Dallas and played that 1 year with Dallas on that big contract. But he got $16 million as a franchise tag with us. And he really didn't get nothing else.
No. Well, he got that maybe 2 years with Dallas, but he didn't really. So
he messed himself up, man.
He's an honorable mention. That's true.
Yeah, you're right. He is. Now let's get to the bread and butter, the linebacker core. In this world with the Panthers, we've seen Dan Morgan, Will Witherspoon, John Anderson, John Beeson as well. Will Witherspoon. We've seen some of the most elite linebacker play come through the Carolina Panthers. Thomas Davis.
Mm-hmm.
All I want to know is how you see fit for the top three linebackers to you in Panthers history. We're just going to do two outside linebackers and one middle.
Two outside and one middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start with middle first. Of course, I'm going Luke in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to go with weak side and strong side. So weak side, I will go, I think it was, so I'll go with Thomas Davis.
Mm-hmm.
No, was Thomas weak or strong? I'm trying to remember.
I think he's weak side.
Yeah, I think he is weak side. And then I will go with Witherspoon.
Strong side.
I will go with that. If we have those three together, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I can't go after that. You hit that on the head, Wiley. God damn, you hit that on the head.
You can't. There's no weakness there.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to John Beeson though, because I was in that era when I watched John Beeson deteriorate right before our very own eyes. It's like we watched him crumble down.
The injury.
Mm-hmm.
So and people keep forgetting Dan Morgan was a damn good linebacker.
He kept having concussions though. Dan Morgan.
Yeah, but impact wise, oh Jesus. Dan Morgan, and that was a piece like when Panther Pickle was saying that Peppers was helping Morgan. I'm like, okay, Peppers was. I can say this from an athletic perspective. Dude was gifted. He was a monster. I don't see him being the technician that Pickle said he was. Maybe I missed something because I was overseas. I missed a lot of games. I wasn't in the I wasn't in the stadium. So there's a big difference between watching it on TV versus being in the stadium. So I can't fight that argument.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you talk about the man who Luke Kuechly was, and you look at what he meant to this team. We said it earlier. 7-time All-Pro. Man, this guy only did 8 years in the entire league. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. He was that guy. And to me, I'm proud to have Luke Kuechly. I'm proud to witness the era in which he played, because you aren't going to get to see any Brian Urlachers in their prime anymore, or Ray Lewis's in their prime, or Luke Kuechly retired in his prime. Yeah, and he still surpassed those legends in numbers in 7-8 years.
Watch this. Here's the messed up part. They can say all they want about like Ray and all that. When Luke was there, when Ray was on top of his game, guess what? Luke was dominating. So they can sit here and talk about your middle linebacker being nasty and all that. No, Luke would be like all over you, and he said, "Hey, guy, let me help you up." Then tear your ass up again.
Luke, I just had to do it one time, man. I miss Luke. I'd be in my house screaming from the TV. Luke, every time he make a tackle, I'd be going crazy, bro, because it's like him and TD together was like the perfect duo at linebacker, bro. I think it just they created such an energy that one wouldn't let the other one outdo him. It was a great competition watching those two, and they studied off of each other. It was so nice to see. We ain't gonna ever have another dual linebacker tandem like that.
And so think about it. They would play two linebackers. Right? They would play two linebackers for the longest.
5 and 2.
There it is. Because those two guys could be like monsters. So think about if you'd have had him, if you'd have played 3 of them, you'd have Witherspoon out there with him.
Yeah. A lot of the time they would do just the 2 linebackers, and they would put an extra defensive end on the line, or they would bring up an extra safety because they had the versatility to be able to do that, because Luke and TD could cover those fast tight ends. They could cover running backs. It
and
wasn't
feel
nothing to them.
and feel the hole whenever there was a spot that running back thought was open. Next, look in the hole and they see the monsters right there waiting on them. A gap and B gap right
Yeah.
there waiting on them.
Yeah, man. Well, it's to the position that I think the most bread and butter come from, the cornerback position. And to me, there is nothing other, no one can solidify the cornerback room greater than Chris Gamble and Josh Norman. I think to me, in our history, those are the two best corner. Now, Eric Davis had a little moment. He had a 3-year span where he was the man.
Yeah.
But I mean, he made a second team All Pro, and when we went to the Pro, he made the Pro Bowl in '96. But you got to also look at Norman was an All Pro, and he led the league in corner. He was the guy in 2015. He elevated that defense.
You're right, and here's the funny part. So you're
Mm-hmm.
saying that about Davis. I remember watching that team. Davis was good, but he didn't have the effect on the game that Norman did. Norman, they could actually leave Norman on his side of the field, and the quarterback wouldn't even throw over them. You could look at the numbers versus seeing it on the effect on the team. Man, come on. You could even throw in the area.
I remember Norman was waving goodbye to Blaine Gabbert on the way going to the end zone. I remember when Daniel Jones threw one of them balls. I think it was Daniel Jones at that time, wasn't it?
No, it was Eli.
It was Eli. Eli threw one because that was the game with him and Odell Beckham. Lord have mercy.
Yep.
Lord have mercy. Them boy fight out over that field, boy. They fight all over that field.
Yep.
Oh, and yes, it was. I'll forever remember that game. Norman screaming all over the field and Cam trying to calm him down and Luke Kuechly them pulling him to the side like, bro, relax. That was one of them games, bro. All time.
Odell ain't been the same since. It's like Josh took everything out of him. Hey,
don't. No, Wally. He couldn't get over that X. He couldn't get over.
He ain't been the same, bro.
Now, honorable mentions at cornerback to me. Terry Cousins was a guy. Like I said, he was a dog. Reggie Howard was a dog. We had Ken Lucas for a little while. I remember Ken Lucas. Yeah, I remember Steve Smith punch him in the face.
Oh yeah, that killed him. He was over after that. But Lucas before that, oh Jesus, give me Lucas.
Yeah,
give me Lucas. Now, Now we're finna go to safety.
Safety.
Strong safety. Which one we go?
I'm going with. We'll just do the safety position all together.
Okay.
I mean, we had some good ones. Mike Mentor.
Oh yeah, that's my.
Charles Godfrey was good, but I like Kurt Coleman. Give me Kurt Coleman any day.
Yeah, but see, Mike Mentor was like, he was. So Mike Mentor, people don't realize we got Chin now, but that's what Mike Mentor was. Mike Mentor was. He gonna make you feel it. He gonna make you feel it. You gonna feel that game for the next 5 days. God.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that dude was, and he was good at coverage too.
He damn sure was. Like I'm looking at his interceptions right now. He got 17 interceptions, 11 forced fumbles, 608 tackles. Like, bruh, and from 97 to 2006, from the 9-year span, he balled. He balled, bro.
Yeah, Mike Mentor was a beast, bro. See, that's that old school Panther stuff. See, people keep thinking we started with see, Mentor bridged between the three. Well, yeah, the first 3 quarter coaches we had. Because remember, he went from 96, so that was Dom. Then he went the Lucas. I mean, not Lucas. The guy that was from San Francisco. Jesus. Schaefer.
I can't think of his name.
Schaefer. And then he went from that. Then he went to Fox. So he went to 3 of those coaches, and he survived and dominated in all 3 times. So he was. That's respect for me.
Yes, sir. It's all love. Especially come to the safety position, man. When you get a good safety, you hold them down. And through our era, all the way up to 2006, we had Mike Mentor. Then 2 years later, we had Charles Godfrey from like '08 to 14. Then in the 15 year, I can't remember who we had 2015. Like I said, Kurt Coleman. We had Kurt Coleman in the crew. We got Adams 1 year, but we had Roman Harper in the crew that was also there too. Honorable mentions. Roman Harper was pretty good and decent for us in that three,
Well,
4 year span he was here.
the safety we got, and he went to Pittsburgh. What was his name? Remember?
Oh, Mike,
Remember
ah,
we had him before we had Coleman.
what's his name? Mike, I remember they would get him all the time for dirty hits because they thought he was dirt. He was dirty. He would hit your ass, bro.
Oh yeah, but he went to
Mike,
Pittsburgh from us.
what's his last name, chat? Somebody help me out. His first name is Mike. His last name, I cannot remember his last name. He left us and went to the Steelers.
Yep, yep. And he played outstanding in Pittsburgh.
Oh man, I can't remember his name worth nothing,
Because
but I'm seeing his face.
he was a tone setter. And I think that was a bad.
Mike Mitchell. Mike Mitchell. Thank
There you
you.
go.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, that was to me that changed the defense. Though
Hmm.
Coleman was good, Coleman didn't have that effect that he had. Athletically,
Yeah.
Coleman was a better athlete, but the effect on the game, Mitchell had a better, he had a better effect on the game. But
But think about it, Wiley. We got Coleman off of waivers from Kansas City when he
yeah,
came on over here. And he was a guy that wasn't getting no PT because they had Eric Berry over there. They had Eric
mm,
Berry at the time. And he was like the upper echelon of safeties. He was like the best safety in that era. Before the Honey Badger, before all them other guys, Eric Berry was that dude. You
Eric
remember?
Berry was bad. Yeah, Eric Berry. See, we going back now. We doing a little
Yeah,
history lesson here.
yeah, yeah. I like doing this, Wiley. This is what the Legend Show is all about. It takes you back down memory lane.
And then it's like perspective wise, if you look at it, and remember I keep saying who's dominant. I look league wide. We've had guys that dominated not just our time in the South, but the league. And that's why I be
Hmm.
saying that. Now we're going back. We almost through with the defense. When we go back to that comparison between Luke and Julius Peppers, come on, bro. You see the numbers. We don't want the defense. What you
Yeah,
say now?
I'm man enough to say I was wrong on that argument. Now only reason why I'm wrong is because of the longevity and what he did at other franchises is what makes the difference. And Luke did it all here in Carolina, so I get you. I got you.
But both of them part
Luke,
of the all-decade team.
they are. But to
Steve.
me, that solidifies Luke in my eye as the greatest Panther potentially of all time.
Yeah, because if you think about it, even Steve, we love Steve. Steve wasn't receiver wise.
Damn
Was
it,
he?
you did it again. Why
Was
you
it?
bring Steve up?
No.
Damn.
But was Steve when he was there? Was Steve the top 5 receiver in the league? Let's talk about it. And
Okay.
people remember that he had his triple crown year,
Mm-hmm.
right? But other than the triple crown year, pull up the numbers. You're looking at probably now. Was Steve
Mm-hmm.
top 5 throughout? Now,
I'm looking at his numbers right now. I'll
because
put it on the screen.
It was a beast. Now he
I
played.
look at
They had. Well, we had a lot of good receivers. Steve was standing out in that time.
look at Steve numbers right here. So once he scratched the field in 2000, he didn't get too much. He didn't only play one game. He only started one game in 2001, and he had 154 yards in that one game. And they said, "Okay, we might have something here."
You think?
Hey, God damn it! The next year he came through. He started 13 games, had 872 yards. Two games, two games away from 1,000 yards, probably. Just
Mhm.
saying. Now the next year in 2003, which was our Super Bowl year, he had 1,100 yards.
Oh yeah.
Look at how many touchdowns. 7 touchdowns. The next year was the year he got hurt, and I remember he got that freak injury and I said, oh shit. But when he came back with a vengeance.
That was a triple crown year.
Yeah. 103 receptions, 1,500 yards, and 12 touchdowns, leading the league in all of those positions, in all of those categories.
Yeah. And people I don't know if they realize or not, that game we played in the playoff against the Bears, only thing we had out there was Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt. Number 2, number 3 receiver. We had tight end like number 5 on the roster playing out there with Steve. We had running back number 4 on the team. And Steve was out there with him and DeLone, and all they did was throw a screen to Steve, and Steve had 2 guys covering him, and Steve killed the Bears. I don't remember seeing another receiver dominate a game. Now we can look at Jerry Rice and the things he did for us going, but he also, people keep forgetting, Jerry Rice had a Hall of Fame on the other side of him. So that's why you see Jerry Rice run down the field, because the number 1 receiver at that time wasn't Jerry Rice. See, people don't remember that part. See, but Steve was by himself, literally. I'm talking about 4th. The guy that was on the practice squad was on the field with Steve. And Steve killed the Bears. That's when we lost against Seattle, remember? Seattle went to the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. You know what used to trip me out? Steve Smith, to me, his signature game, he had a bunch of them. Now, he had that one where he had that huge catch with the Saints that started the fight in the end zone. Then he had that one where he embarrassed Janoris Jenkins, and Janoris was on the ground, and he pointed at him and talked shit and went and got the touchdown. But the number 1 moment to me was when him and Aqib Talib went at it on Monday Night Football.
Ice up, son.
Ice up, son. He long step and put that arm out there. Put that arm, ice up, son. Oh my God. Steve Smith dominated Aqib Talib, and Aqib Talib was the number 1 corner that year. And he dominated him.
Made him look like he was a little boy. But Steve was
doing it to
everybody.
It was so bad, Belichick had to sit Aqib Talib down on the bench and say, son, this is not the Patriot way. This is not what we do. You got to come sit down beside me. I love it, man. I love it because Steve Smith is that dude, dog.
Look at Levin. That's Cam's rookie year. Look at that.
Yeah.
Almost. Yep.
Just look at it, bro. 13. Oh my God. 1,300. I mean, the numbers don't lie. With Cam Newton, he had 2 years back to back where he had productivity. And then look at the numbers, bro. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah. Numbers don't lie. In this case, come on, man. But you know what though, and I keep saying it, and people don't like it. But I think Steve had to leave so Cam could be Cam. His personality was too big, man.
He was a strong presence now. I remember they said in one game, which was that same year they played the Patriots, they was like, Steve Smith put the fear of God in the locker room. They say that nigga put the fear of God in the locker room. I said, Lord have mercy. What did he tell them grown men in there?
Even think about it. Think about it like this. At that time, name another dominant personality we had.
As far as for us and teams with personalities, I think Steve Smith was the ultimate personality on the team.
At that time, yeah. Now we had guys in the past. We're talking about in that time when Cam was coming, Cam was here, then we got Luke the following year, right? Steve Smith was the locker room. So in order for those young guys to get a voice, they probably had to get, I don't know, but it just looked that way from the outside looking in.
Gettleman and him didn't see eye to eye.
Oh no!
And he told a story of how Gettleman let him know they were gonna move on for him because they felt like he lost a step. I don't think that cat lost a step because I know you remember that blood and guts game. I know you remember that.
Oh yeah.
He came back to us and torched our ass.
True, but see, here's the thing. Steve talked about it. I think in the interview with with Shannon Sharp. And Shannon Sharp asked him about it. And Steve said he went to the team and said he wanted the opportunity to see if he could play somewhere else. So we blame it all on Gellerman, but I think it was a mutual part in the way.
Yeah.
But Steve wanted to see if it was just what he could do somewhere else.
Well, you remember they had the rumors out back in the day, and this is when Cam first got there. That Steve Smith had asked for a trade right before they went and draft Cam Newton, and then we heard the rumors die down. But every offseason, Steve Smith asked for a trade, and he was trying to get out of Carolina because he was unhappy.
Yeah.
And you would hear it all the time in the news, and then all of a sudden it just died down. But when Gettleman came, that shit went from a little bit of smoke and mirrors to a whole blown fire.
Yeah, that's true.
Gettleman didn't give a damn. He said, "Fuck Norman. Okay, Steve Smith, I'm gonna get your ass up out of here." Everybody. Nobody is safe.
You ain't lying. He was true on that. He was true on his game now. He didn't care about nobody.
Yes, sir. So shout out to everybody in the chat. If you are watching this, you can like, comment, subscribe. In a minute, I'm gonna get Wiley's all-time greatest offensive player, and then we could get an all-time greatest defensive player from Wiley. But before we do that, like, subscribe to the channel. If you're showing love and you're feeling freaky, hit that Cash App. It's money sign Dub Q09, or either send us a super chat. We back in the building. We back greater than ever. Y'all already know it feels good to be back on Black Cat Panther Podcast, man. Show that love. So, Wiley.
All right, let's go.
Offensively, who's your greatest Panther?
People gonna be mad at me. I'm gonna go with AJ. I'm gonna go with AJ 89. AJ 89 had the effect on the team that I love Cam, but AJ 89 had the effect on the team that he can make the whole team want to run through the wall, offense and defense. So I'll take AJ 89. The numbers are great, but I just like the effect that he had on the team. Cam, 2015 Cam, nobody can touch that league-wise. But that triple crown, baby. Come on, look at that. Look at that triple crown numbers. Come on.
They got it nice and highlighted in blue for you.
I'm just saying the effect is. And you 5'10", 5'9"?
5'9", brother. And I mean, he played like he was 6'5". You wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
You ain't lying on that one, because receivers at that time at his side didn't play out there. They were trying to put him in the slot. No, Steve's out. I'm wrong.
Like, I watched this man, Wiley, broke his arm against the Giants. He made a touchdown, and I think we were in New York. He caught the football, and he took a hit right on his arm. Boom, knock his arm right out the socket. And this guy kept running, and his arm just flapping. You can see the arm going down, and his first mind frame is, I'm getting this touchdown.
Yep.
And he kept running and got the touchdown. You can't teach toughness like that, bruh.
No.
Steve Smith is a GOAT. He's a legend, bruh.
That right there rubs off on the team, because if he could do that as one of the smallest guys on the team, what can I say? What can I say?
Yeah, I always have the utmost respect for Steve Smith on this channel, as well as Thomas Davis, because Thomas Davis played in the Super Bowl with a broken forearm. I mean, as a linebacker that got to make tackles, you got to come on, brother. You got to use your arms on every play, because somebody's trying to push you out of the way.
Yep.
And this guy was still dominant in the Super Bowl. He was dominant.
Yeah, he was, and that's come on, man. That's you pulled up two greats there. Those are two greats.
Yes, sir.
So who's your offensive player?
Offensively, all day, it's Smitty to me. It's not even close, because, like I said, he's my Mount Rushmore of all-time greatest players, man. Smitty is the reason why I love the Panthers so much. I'm just telling you like it is, Wiley. Like I've been here during the eras of players coming and going, but when Agent 89 slapped the top of that helmet, I'm losing it in the house. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you. So for me as a fan, I love nothing more than to express to everybody who watch me to understand it. To me, Steve Smith is my greatest player all time for the Panthers, and he's the greatest offensive player for me because he did it with no quarterback. At times, he put the team on his back. At times, he was the franchise face of the Panthers.
Yep. He is and continues to be the ultimate weapon.
Shout out to Lord Aiken. He asked me who's the. Let me get my defensive play, and then I'll answer your question. Defensively, I think it's without a doubt. Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly is the man. Now, it was a toss up between me, Luke Kuechly, and Julius Peppers for me because I just love Julius Peppers that much. But it's like I'm an edge rusher guy when it comes to defense. I love to see edge rushers get behind the quarterback and get them sacks. They impact the game to me higher and faster than anybody else if they can get to do their job faster. But Lord have mercy, Luke Kuechly's impact is second to none, and I'm glad to say that I live in an era where I got to witness Luke Kuechly. 87-4 talking about don't disrespect Delone like that, Q.
Wow, come on, man. Come on now.
So my Panthers Mount Rushmore of my top 4 players will be Steve Smith.
Yep.
Luke Kuechly.
Yep.
Julius Peppers.
Yep.
And lastly, I'm going to put, this is the toss-up, trying to fit that last person in a Mount Rushmore.
I would say
Cam Newton.
Yeah. Mount Rushmore, yeah. No doubt. Because Cam's effect, everybody you name effect on the team was dramatic. The only one that I would say that number wise looked great, but the effect, I'm just talking about on the teams that he was on. Peppers was on the team, but the team wasn't driven because of Peppers. That's the only one. If that makes sense. Because it was there. It was Mike Mentor's team, right? It was other people. Now Peppers was doing his thing, but he wasn't the voice. He wasn't the. But he also played when Smitty was there, so that made me unfair.
But think about it though, Wiley. He had one of the smoothest get offs as a rookie that you could have when you look on a defensive line and you got Mike Rucker, Brenton Buckner, and Chris Jenkins. 4 talents that could get double-digit sacks on a line together.
I'm gonna tell you who we disrespect is Jenkins. We just leave him out of everything, but that boy had an effect.
He used to eat, bro. Him and Brenton Buckner together used to eat, bro. In that middle, those were 2 big bodies. I remember them braids. Which one had the braids? He had them braids, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big boy had the braids, man. Them what they call it? Them Cleo braids.
Set
it off braids.
Those boys do those stunts, unless we're in the backfield eating. Now, I'm gonna challenge. One day we'll have to look at the 90. Look when we play the 3-4, so that way we can look forward into what we're gonna get this year coming. So we need to look at those teams with Dom's teams. 96 to 90 was it 98? No, 95 to 99. We need to look at those teams and look at how Dom. Cause remember now, who was our defensive coordinator
back then?
Yeah,
Capers on it.
No, Fangio. See, you keep forgetting that. See,
Fangio.
Everybody Fangio, but guess what? Fangio was Capers' defensive coordinator. And they came together for the FSA. What was it? What was that? That league that was went away with Herschel Walker and those guys were in it. But that's where they came from, and they were linebacker coaches and defensive back coaches together. Then Capers went to Pittsburgh. Remember, I was a Pittsburgh fan. He went to Pittsburgh. He was dominating, and that's how he got the job as a Panthers coach. Then he brought in Fangio as his defense coordinator.
Shout out to
I see
704. He's
that.
no Greg Olson. Not on my Mount Rushmore. I look, man. I had to
We
put
only get
Cam there.
four. We only get
Yeah,
four.
exactly, exactly. Hollywood, what we talking about? This is a legend show, man. We're going over legends offensively, defensively, all-time greatest Panthers. Man, we hit the mark on it. To me, like I said, just a recap, Smitty is the all-time greatest Panther to me. He's the reason why I love the Carolina Panthers so much. And it's second to none, man. I love the fella. No homo. Uh, and
See,
then back to you, Wally.
yeah. So there you go. See,
Oh
now
yeah.
I'm gonna. The reason why I really love to keep pounding is because that '96 team. You know, and every time we play Dallas, I always. This is the reason why I don't like Dallas. Is because when the owner came through in '96, we played him in the playoffs. He said, "I didn't know Carolina had a team."
Damn.
Yeah, right before the playoff. Then when they came in, then they had Dion, they had Michael Irvin, they had all these guys, and we sent them out on stretchers.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't just dominate them; we sent them out on stretchers. See,
Mm.
that's the last time they sniffed on anything for us winning.
Mm-hmm.
Because we put the end to the Dallas Cowboys, and that's what I'm saying. When we play Dallas this year, don't you think Dom is going to be all hyped up? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to blitz the hell out of Dallas because that guy came in there and he disrespected Dom. So what you think they're going to do? They're going to let those guys feel the last time we had a 3-4, this new 3-4. It's going to be Dom's fingerprints all over. Oh, yeah.
Wow. So, man, look at here. Shout out to everybody who's just taking this chat out. I want to wish a happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you guys. Man, I appreciate you for just pulling up on your boy. We wanted to do a little bit of talking of the past before we get to the future. We all know that Bryce Young is the future. We're in mini camp right now, and the team is looking exceptional. I saw some passes from Bryce Young. Did you see anything from Bryce Young yet, on Wiley?
Yeah, I saw some passes from him. It was funny. You know, that helmet looked kind of big.
It made him look taller.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm optimistic about what we're gonna do here. Uh, I I'm a true Panthers fan in the sense that I everybody can have their perspective, but I'm all about let's do this. If you're on the Panthers, you're on the Panthers now. I'm gonna give you every opportunity to make me not uh, want to support you. So I'm gonna support you 100% until you not earn that. And I believe he has the opportunity, and I think he's gonna relax too. I think he's on a lot of pressure. You see those pressers, but he was
Mm.
talking and talking and talking. That's somebody that's trying to convince you of something, dude. You hear now? Relax. You hear it.
Well,
You're our quarterback.
the one thing that annoys me with Bryce, and I love Bryce as the quarterback, but it's that vocabulary, man. It seems like it's very limited, and that freaking super word just pisses me off. Sometimes the more I hear it,
Mm.
and they ask him a question, and they were like, "Hey, Bryce, how you feeling today?" Super. I'm like, oh God, no, please say something else. But I
Well,
love the guy as a quarterback, though.
yeah, but okay, then I'll take that than the latest version of Cam's vocabulary. I don't know
What
what
was Cam
Cam,
vocabulary?
all that stuff. He be talking about he's from Atlanta and all the Atlanta slang and stuff. I be like, I watch his show every now and then. I be like, I have to cut it off, man. I be like, Jesus, dude, just speak English sometimes. So all of us not from Atlanta, so all of us don't understand the Atlanta slang. So I
Hmm.
don't know. But you're right. But you know what? You know, Q, I'm old. I know I'm old, so you getting there too, though. Maybe those young kids like that super word. I don't know.
Bryce, look, Wally. I'm 32 years old. I'll be 33 this year. You don't hear me walk around saying no goddamn super every 10 minutes now. Come on,
No,
bro.
but remember, hold on. Remember when when 50 first came out?
Hmm.
All the vocabulary 50 came. Everybody was saying it. Probably when you were young. You about what 18, 19?
Yep, yep, yep. Right in that
It,
era.
See, so think about how you were speaking at that time frame compared to
I
how you
think
speak now.
yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I now have cleaned up a lot of stuff and polished myself a little bit more. So he got a little long. How the old people say, just keep on living, boy. Just keep on living.
But I'll take because it sounds more like that. Brady, Brady got up there. Brady said a whole bunch of words, don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's talking for like 5 minutes. Be like, that dude didn't say nothing for 5 minutes. It was a whole bunch of words, but it was nothing.
Look at here. Look, they on John Casey ass in the chat, boy. Because you notice I didn't mention kickers or punters in our legend talk.
Oh, why? Oh, I know why. Oh, see yeah, they want to do that. They don't want to do that. They don't
Well,
want
how
to do
about this? How about this? How about this? Let's get into it. Then punter Todd Sauerbrunn.
that.
Who you got as the all-time punter?
See, you put me in a bad
The
spot, man. You put me in a bad spot. So, okay. I'm gonna be a homer. I'm gonna take what's a Hecker.
Hecker? Hecker ain't
Yeah,
been here long enough to me.
yeah. That's why I'm gonna be a homer because I don't want to get into that, man. That is a dirty. This is yeah.
we had some punters over a span of years though. We could never seem after Todd Sauerbrunn left, we could never seem to get a good guy that could come in and make a difference. Because
No,
that boy used to have a foot on him.
yeah, and it was an afterthought. Our special teams always, from when we first started until we had
I mean,
Rivera.
Baker was good too at punter, but come on, man.
Yeah, but
Jason Baker.
yeah, but like I said, from when we started all the way through Rivera, we always had an outstanding special teams.
Mm-hmm.
At least kicker and punter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Kicker and
people
punter.
gonna
We had
kill
two strong
Casey.
legs.
They're gonna kill Casey, and I got it. But we always were top 5 in those categories. I mean, kicker and punter, yeah.
Yeah. John Casey is the GOAT when it comes to making kicks for the Panthers, and he did it for 15 years. 16 years of the franchise from 95 to 2010. And after that, we just couldn't keep nobody in the damn building.
No, we
Just
had
couldn't.
no.
Hmm?
Who was the other one? We had John Casey.
Graham Gano.
No, Graham to me was outstanding. But that was Casey the Graham.
Right.
Yeah, but Casey
He's all right.
he was
All right.
he was a pro. Look at pull his numbers up. See?
He,
Pull his
he's all
numbers up.
right.
Pull his
He ain't
numbers
no
up.
Casey. He ain't no
Pull his
Casey, but he's
pull
all
you can
right.
do a side-by-side comparison. QC, don't get emotional about this one. Let's see, this is why I didn't want to go into this. See, this is why I didn't want to go into this.
See, I left those kickers off for a reason because I knew it was gonna get emotional when we get into the damn kickers. I think everybody remember John Casey kicking that bitch out of bounds that time.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But when it came to Super Bowls, he was the most consistent kicker. Like him and Adam Vinatieri went kick for kick. And I mean, Vinatieri was kicking that bitch and putting it. I can't be mad. Like people ask me all the time, is Adam Vinatieri a Hall of Famer? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
That nigga won them 3 rings alone off of his foot.
Those first 3. And the thing about it is, if they beat us by 3, they beat the Rams by 3. All that's Casey. And those wasn't easy. I mean, Vinatieri. Those wasn't easy kicks neither. Those 55, 52, 57. Come on, man. Those are long kicks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So that's
so
why
they
I
can talk
said
about Brady all they want to, but all Brady did was he didn't score touchdowns. He got the ball to the kicker, and the kicker won the game. So he got the credit. But all he did was go down 40 yards, get it within kicking range.
my man Hollywood talking about. I forgot about Adam. That nigga kicked for 30 years.
but that's like who was it? The Atlanta kicker. What was his name? Morris. Was it Morton?
Mortensen.
Man, that
Craig,
dude,
Greg Morris, Craig or Greg, one of them boys. I can't remember his
that
first name.
dude kicked for about 30 years for real.
But that nigga, the Raiders kicked for a while too. Oh man, I can't remember his name, but he was there for a while.
And it
Dude,
was consistent. See, punters and kickers, man, it's like you don't want to. It's almost it should be automatic, but it ain't.
mm-hmm.
And when you have a bad one, you know it. You really know it. But the problem is there's so many good ones that when one guy have a bad game, you think, oh, this guy sucks. No, no one sees you, and you just walk out there, game on the line. You gotta come on, man. Yeah, I'll take Graham. I'm gonna take Graham. I'm not even gonna go Casey. I'm gonna go Graham, which is this is controversial. Go look at the two.
Mm-hmm.
And Graham has hurt us too. So we got rid of him. What did he do? He had the Giants.
On to the other team.
Okay, Giants, he killed us last year. Remember that?
Yes, sir. Look, man, it hurts to watch him in another uniform knowing that we had that kicker. But y'all got Panera Bread. Y'all got Panera Bread. I mean, can he be a long stale here in Carolina?
I think
you see longevity with him?
Yeah. Because he has the right temperament, and we're playing in an environment where he doesn't have to kick in the cold. So, and we don't play a lot of teams in that environment. And most Super Bowls today it's going to be inside. So, yeah, he'll be fine.
87-4. Where the hell you been? I brought up Jeff Otoh when we got to the right tackles earlier.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, man. So I mean, we might as well talk about it some more. Who's the biggest bust in Carolina Panthers history?
I'm gonna go. You ain't gonna like. Well, you may like this. I'm gonna go with Chris Winkie.
Chris Winkie.
Yeah.
Chris Winkie was serviceable. He was like a backup quarterback to me. Like, oh damn, they already in the chat spamming it. Jimmy Clausen.
Yeah, see, Jimmy's the easy target.
Yeah, they pick on Jimmy, man. I know Jimmy was bad. Kelvin Benjamin was horrible. Vernon Butler was a bust. Jeff Otoh had one good year. But to me, there's a guy that was drafted and was supposed to be the next era of wide receiver play that nobody even look at. Do y'all remember Dwayne Jarrett? From USC that we drafted.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the second coming.
That boy was trash. I mean, remember Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, Dwayne Jarrett? Lord have mercy. This boy was a phenom in college football.
That team was that USC team was outstanding.
Yeah. You remember, no matter who we drafted at receiver, with Steve Smith and Musa Muhammad in the room, they could not go. Kerry Colbert was another one that couldn't get it done. Dwayne Jarrett. All them boys that used to come through the door in Carolina that they would draft were busts. And I think it was because, I hate to say it, but Smitty was such a strong personality. I don't know if he was teaching them boys more or less trying to keep his job. I think that's what it was. Well, them boys would look. Yeah, I don't know, Wiley. I don't know on this one, man.
Yeah, but you know what though, Smitty, you're right. Some of those guys probably were decent, but I don't know if Smitty was a good mentor, because Smitty was like, he tried to break you and see if you're gonna be ready, if you're gonna be mentally ready to go to war with him. And you know, some of those guys need some calling, and Smitty ain't no calling nobody.
Smitty used to be on their ass. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But to me, like I said, it gets no bigger of disappointments than Dwayne Jarrett. I think Vernon Butler was a first-round pick that never panned out. Kelvin Benjamin was a first-round receiver that ended up being the size of a defensive end. Then you look at some of these guys that came through the door, they didn't stand a chance.
That is a true statement, and you're making me reconsider some things. But I, between Clausen and yeah, Kevin Benjamin was. We could have
He ate his way out the
had
league.
those receivers that came out that year. Now we could have been set for. Come on, man.
Bro, we could have got old boy from Vegas right now.
Yeah,
Adams.
yeah,
Devontae
he was right
Adams.
there. He was right there. It
He
was,
said he was expecting the Panthers to get him, but they took Kelvin Benjamin. I said,
yeah.
I'll be damned.
But you know what though? Here's the thing though.
Mm-hmm.
Adam coming out of college wasn't the man. You know what I'm saying? He was.
Mm.
What I'm saying is, if you look at him and Kevin Benjamin was at Florida State, right?
Florida
They,
State, they just came off a championship.
their numbers were similar. You
Mm-hmm.
had somebody coming from that smaller team versus this guy played on a bigger platform. I can understand why they made it. And then Cam, they thought Cam needed the bigger receiver to increase his accuracy. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I told his Adam, I mean the guy from he's what, like 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah,
He don't
he
look
was 6'2", 6'3". But look at it though, Wiley. When Cam had his most success, Benjamin was off the field. He had Ted Ginn and he had Philly Brown. He had Philly Brown and Ted Ginn, both wasn't even 6 foot. So that whole notion about Cam needing a 6'5" guy, when he went out and took them two boys who wasn't even 6 foot and made a way and made it to a 15-1 record with them, I don't get that notion of needing a big receiver. They wasted a pick on Benjamin and Funches because Funches ain't never really developed either.
No, you're right. And if you think about it like this, and this is a piece that I thought was good. Look at Cam T when he played at Auburn. None of those receivers were big. None of those
Mm-hmm.
receivers were like great route runners. What they were fast. And no one looked at that and said, other than our first offensive coordinator, he shaped the team around Cam's strengths. 2015, I think they're gonna be mad at me at this one. We went there in spite of Rivera. Same thing I said with Fox. In spite, not because of. Because name some other time that Rivera had done anything. They call him Riverboat because why? Cam was like, hey, dude, let me do this. Trust I can. That's all it was. He wasn't, oh, I'm making an educated decision. No, dude. Cam was
Mm-hmm.
dominant. And Cam, remember, we played Tennessee the first game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when Cam jumped over the line and said, if you got a problem, make me stop. Remember that
Yeah.
said? Stop, right?
Yeah. Stop me.
And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then did the whole Superman thing and started yelling at him.
Mm-hmm.
That set the tone for the whole year. Anytime before that, Rivera was like, calm down. Hey, we need to be classy, all this other stuff. When he took and let them just be them, show their personality, we won
Mm-hmm.
there in spite of him, not because of him.
Rivera was watered down. I ain't gonna lie.
So, hey, it is what it is, Doc.
Yeah,
I
man.
know it's not, I said, hey, I'm saying to myself, I sound like a hater.
No, you just telling the truth. Well, I mean, that's why I said the legend show is so important because in order to go forward, you got to look back one last time. You know what I'm saying? And periodically we do that here. We look back.
Yeah, I think we need to look back next time at the 3-4 employed by the foundation of the team, which would be Don Capers. We didn't look at
Okay.
that 3-4. Then we look at we didn't talk about Lamar Lakeland. We didn't talk about Mr. Keep Pounding himself. You notice that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about Kevin Green at the outside linebacker. You know, who was the other outside linebacker? So they had Lakeland, they had Mills, and what's the other guy? I'm trying to remember the other linebacker we had at that time. But those guys, they came from those other teams. Some of them were going to be cut. Some of those guys were outstanding players. But when we brought them all together, we established something that we were the opposite of the Jaguars. The Jaguars went young, we went old, and we were dominating the league as a franchise, as an expansion team.
Yeah.
If
In
you think about
1997, we did have Reggie White, Lord Aiken. Yes, you're right.
it, we have Reggie for like 2 years.
We had it for a year.
Okay, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Then
The great Reggie White.
he died because of sleep apnea.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. We had some guys, man. I like this show because going in the past, you can actually go through, and the numbers don't always show the effect. You know,
Hmm.
the numbers are one thing, but the effect on the team is another. That's why Sam Mills is the man that sets to keep pounding, because the effect that Mills had on the team was like Smitty.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was the effect that, because if you think about it, Sam was what, 5'8"?
Yeah, he wasn't big at all.
No, he
Wasn't the
about 5'8".
fastest either.
No, he was 5'8". Let's see, but hold on now. Let's go back. So I'm gonna give you a little lesson here. When they had the was it Dome Patrol where in New Orleans, Sam
Hmm.
Mills was part of that, right?
Hmm.
Sperling, Pat Sperling, and all those guys. But watch this. Who was on that coaching staff?
You had to tell me on that one.
Okay, our coaching staff. Dom
Oh,
Capers, Don
it didn't hit
Capers,
me. It didn't
Don
hit me
Capers,
at all just now.
Maggio, Maggio. See,
Wow. Full
and the
circle,
Dome
isn't it?
Patrol was something else, wasn't it? Watch this. Where did the Dome Patrol come from? It came from that league that went away. And when that
No,
league went, I can't remember the name of it, but when that league went away, they grabbed some of the best defensive, offensive minds and players to come in, and that's where Sam Mills came from.
mm,
Sam Mills was dominating then, and then when they brung in those coaches, defensive coaches, from linebacker coach and defensive back coach Dom Capers and Vangio. That's how the Dome Control Patrol was dominating. And if you look at our team, 95, 96, 97, those guys played similar to the Dome.
mm.
That 3-4 was dominant, bro.
Well, it's time to bring it back. It's time to have Everroad take it up under capers again, and I can't wait to see what way they attack these offenses this year, man. I think it's going to be something huge to see because there's one guy that I cannot wait for, and I don't know why the anticipation is mounting for this guy for me, but I don't know if it's the Duck fan in me or what, but it's just like DJ Johnson to me is going to. I can't wait to see what he looks like. I know he's not going to have high sack numbers this year, but I'm waiting to see can he set the edge. Everett told him number one when he picked him up. What we're going to do first? We're going to set the edge, right?
Yeah.
I want to see this guy stop the run, Wiley. That's all I want to see.
So I have a question.
What's
So
up?
what's Everett and DJ history? Do you know?
I don't know their history together.
Okay. And then I'm gonna make sure I'm right here. I thought I looked it up, but I believe uh, DJ and Everall were at Florida State together. Because Everall was like assistant coach, defensive coach, assistant line coach or something like this, or
Oh
defensive
wow.
back. They can't. They was another. They were in college together. It's not like he didn't know the guy. He knew the guy. He didn't just wear Oregon.
Ooh.
Look it up.
So now you said it. Now you got my gears really grinding right now. So are you telling me he took this guy, traded up for this guy because
He
he
know the guy.
said this is one of my guys right here, and if I get my hands on him, it's lights out.
Yeah, and the thing.
Wiley.
Hey, think about it like this. Look at when we look at that '96 team, right? Let's look at Lamar Latham. Lamar Latham came from, I think it was Houston, the Houston Oilers. And we get him play like Lamar, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
See, Brian Burns is Brian Burns. We haven't had, and Everall hasn't had, and Don Capers never had these types of athletes to employ this 3-4. So we Denver didn't have these kind of athletes. But look what
Mm-hmm.
Denver was. We got superior athletes on our team that we're gonna show the league that we gonna dominate. We're gonna dominate, Doc. And the 3-4 is gonna be a better suit for a lot of these guys. Uh, and Bardo may have a breakout year, man. The dude had the 3-4 doesn't require the, I would say, the middle linebacker to be so cerebral. You just got to be in the right place at the right time to have athletes. Scheme is important. Coaching is important in the 3-4 versus the 4-3. 4-3, you need a dominant middle linebacker to control the defense, and you definitely need somebody, a dominant safety or corner, to control the backfield. So I'm looking forward to the 3-4.
Man, I'm just looking at that. I'm looking at that roster, man. That was one hell of a roster back then, man.
That
With the
was
wide receivers and running backs and tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Hey, this is I remember everybody talking, oh, we're going 3-4. I'm like, great. Because remember I said I was a Pittsburgh fan. Pittsburgh been running that 3-4 for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
And they have different types of athletes in that 3-4. And you notice every year, all of a sudden those linebackers are what? No name guys come out of nowhere and they play at Pittsburgh dominating, right? Then they go out of Pittsburgh. What do? Hardly nothing.
Man, look at the Pro Bowlers we got from that team that year from '96. Sam Mills, Lamar Latham, Eric Davis, Kevin Green, all potential Hall of Famers. Kerry Collins. Mm-hmm.
Say it again.
Kerry Collins made the freaking Pro Bowl.
It was his second year, right?
First team All Pro in his second year. Yeah, you're right.
See? Little history lesson always is good, right?
Damn, Michael Bates made it at running back.
Uh-huh. And Michael Bates was a what? Also he also a kick returner. And Michael Bates can take it to the house at any time. He was a track star.
Oh, Moose was on that team. Wesley Walls made the Pro Bowl too.
See, look at that.
Bianca Patuca.
Yeah, he kept getting hurt.
Yeah, he only played 4 games that year.
Yep.
Anthony Johnson at running back had 1,100 yards. God
Anthony
damn.
Johnson was that big of a guy, but Anthony Johnson was a man. He played like, see, if you want to look at Chuba, if Chuba could be Anthony Davis, come on, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Chuba got that much potential, but you tried just now. Oh, good. You tried with Chuba just now.
Gotta try. Keep hope alive.
I got no faith in Chuba. Come on, bro. Come on now.
But see, it's nice to look back at it.
Yeah, it is. It put a smile on your boy, little cute face, man. Just watching it. Yeah. You know what, Wiley? I appreciate the history lesson today, man. And so, with that being said, any closing words for the people?
Hey, I think next time we need to talk about that 3-4 so we get everybody hyped up, and we look at each player, how they're going to fit in that 3-4, and how we're going to, as you said earlier, attack the offense.
Yes, sir, man. We're going to do that. We're going to try to work that on into the next show then. That show is going to be Monday night. Be on the lookout. We're going to talk about defense 3-4, how we're going to look potentially in this, how we're going to keep up with the camps too, as everything gets started with the camps. So I can't wait, man. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Show that love. Look, if you want to do anything, donate. If you want to show love, Cash Apps are scrolling across the bottom of the screen, or you can super chat and show us some love there. You know, go ahead and show your boy Dubs and the crew some love. The panel will be back on Monday night. Shout out to Gold with Mud Ink Outlaws. If you haven't already subscribed to his channel, he just dropped Busco Beach last week, part 1. And we're going to be doing that this week as soon as he get back with the footage. He's over there today filming. So shout out to Gold, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing from his channel.
Hey man, this has been a pleasant afternoon. Well, now it's going on about 9 o'clock over here. Been a
Dang.
nice discussion, man. You know, this is what I think we're gonna get the fans ready for the season. And talking
Mm-hmm.
about where we were at and how we're gonna employ these guys instead of talking about what we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna start building that momentum. So when they get out there and they start doing what they're doing, man, we're gonna make sure that everybody feel us this year on
Oh
defense.
yeah. Oh yeah, Wiley. I'm telling you right now, man. This is the place you want to be. What the place to all the Falcons that was in the chat today. You would love to be a Carolina Panther if you keep on listening. We're gonna go ahead and dock your honorary Panther fans. So y'all can come on in the building. To the Saints fans that was in here today, make sure y'all pass because we'll be on your ass one more time. Yes, sir. So without further ado, this has been Black Cat Panther Podcast, man. I'm just wanting to say thank you guys for all the support. We appreciate you guys. Yesterday we hit 1,800 subscribers. So I just wanted to tell you guys thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been a long time coming, and we on the road to 2,000.
Already.
Yes, sir. All right, Wiley. I'm gonna holler at you later.
Peace.